What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Guys, it's getting crazy as things are ramping up towards the election next Tuesday. 5 days, guys, to get out there, vote, make sure your voice is heard for this great country. All right, I know y'all clicked on this video because I'm going to show y'all this clip of Donald Trump playing the supercut of Kamala Harris talking about him in closing arguments. All you're going to hear is Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump. Guess where we also hear that same statement, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump. It's at a Kamala Harris rally. I'm going to show y'all that clip next because Kamala Harris's rallies were interrupted twice by protesters, different reasons, but it's absolutely insane. You've got to watch that. You've got to see these clips, guys. It's crazy. Later on in the show, we're going to look at KJP because she's asked if Biden had to be told that his garbage comment could be misconstrued or problematic. You don't want to miss that. And then Trump, at the very end of the video, is going to respond to an endorsement from legendary astronaut Buzz Aldrin. All right, let's jump into it. And guys, please leave a like, hit that thumbs up button. It really does help out the channel. Even if you don't like the clips that I'm going to show you, I appreciate all the love and support. All right, y'all check out this first clip.
And those that are mentally ill pour into our country. He didn't let that. Jimmy Carter didn't allow that to happen. Last night, Kamala made a speech, not much of one, with a paid-for audience, and all she talked about was Donald Trump.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight, I will speak about Donald Trump. Donald Trump, 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 Trump.
Do you believe it? Because she and Joe have no achievements, only failure and gloom. See, that was so perfect. It worked out perfectly. I said, how am I going to say? Normally you'd stop and you'd say, please take a look at the video. But I have some very talented people. I say, when I say Donald Trump, you just let that go. They did a good job. And then I finished the sentence because they have no achievements, because they're a disaster. She suffers from a very serious disease known as Trump derangement syndrome. Trump derangement syndrome. TDS, sometimes referred to as TDS, it's quite serious. It's inflicted havoc on some lives. But many Democrats suffer from that disease, and it's only because of one reason, because we're winning. This week, Kamala has been comparing her political opponents to the most evil mass murderers in history. And now, speaking on a call for her campaign last night, Joe Biden finally said what he and Kamala really think of our supporters. He called them garbage. And they mean it, even though without question, my supporters are far higher quality than Crooked Joe or Lying Kamala. My response to Joe and Kamala is very simple. You can't lead America if you don't love Americans. You just can't. And you can't be president if you hate the American people, and there's a lot of hatred there. Kamala Harris is not fit to be president of the United States. She doesn't have the intellect, the stamina, or that special quality that real leaders must have to lead. We know what that is. It's a special quality. Joe Biden's comments were the direct result of Kamala's and Tim Walz, you know? You know who that is? His decision to portray everyone who isn't voting for them as evil or subhuman. You're not subhuman. I'm looking at you. You are not subhuman. And we know it's what they believe because Look how they've treated you. They've treated you like garbage, frankly. They've treated you like garbage. You know what? The truth is they've treated our whole country like garbage, whether they meant to or not, because they're grossly incompetent people, and they've destroyed our country. Our country is suffering right now like it's never suffered with inflation and with the infliction.
All right, guys, we'll stop it right there. But absolutely crazy what he's saying. And isn't he hilarious? Like Trump derangement syndrome. That, I don't know about you, that was cracking me up. Let me know though, do you think that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, you think that they've treated the entire country like garbage? Do you agree with what Donald Trump is saying here? If so, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Now, guys, Kamala Harris does this rally, right? And she's interrupted by protesters twice. First, in this first clip I'm going to show you, they just start chanting Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump. Again, I told you you're going to hear that word a lot in this clip, in this video. All right. And then she's interrupted again, but this time by pro-Palestinian protesters. You've got to see these interruptions in her rally, but pay attention, guys, to her response to the protesters. I think it's very telling. All right. Of course, Donald Trump has responded to protesters himself. But today, I want to show you how Kamala Harris responds to protesters at her rally. Y'all check out this video.
Which is why my plan will also lower the cost of child care. Cut taxes for small businesses and lower health care costs, because I believe health care should be a right and not just a privilege of those who can afford it. On the other hand, Donald Trump's answer to financial pressures is for you to face the same deal. Here's the thing. Let me say something. We are 6 days out of an election. We are 6 days away from an election. And ours is about a fight for democracy and your right to be heard. That is what is on the line in this election. That is what is on the line in this election. Look, everybody has a right to be heard, but right now I am speaking.
Wow. Okay, so you can tell she got a little bit heated there. I don't know if you saw that, but imagine how embarrassing that is, that you're at your rally, and I don't know how many protesters there were, but there was a sizable amount where they all start together chanting Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, right in the middle of a Kamala Harris rally. Guys, that is absolutely insane. How Donald Trump in the previous clip says that she paid for these people to be in here. So if they're paying for people to be in her rally and a bunch of people in there, how did they get in? All these protesters that are coming in chanting Donald Trump. I mean, that's insane. Absolutely crazy. But did you see how angry she got over it? Like, she was mad and her supporters rallied behind her, but she was upset. Like, wow, man. Okay, she's interrupted again, this time by pro-Palestinian protesters. You gotta check out this next clip. Look at it.
So, Pennsylvania, I am asking for your vote. And here is my pledge to you. And here is my pledge to you. As your president, I pledge to seek common ground and common sense solutions to the challenges you face. Look, I'll repeat it. We are fighting for a democracy. We love our democracy. It can be complicated at times, but it is the best system in the world. It's okay. It's okay.
Man, okay, after the first clip, she's angry. After the second time it happens, she just looks defeated. Like, that is so embarrassing. I mean, I know Donald Trump had his own protesters at his rallies and stuff, but man, that's crazy. Let me know what you think about that in the comments, guys, and subscribe. If you're not a subscriber to this channel, I'm posting a video like this every day, giving y'all like these viral moments. And in this next one, guys, KJP is asked if Biden had to be told that his garbage comment could be misconstrued or problematic. As y'all know, like, Joe Biden made this comment that Trump supporters are garbage. It's blowing up right now all over the news. It's interesting because right after it happened, mainstream media stayed away from it. They tried to hide it, right? They were still talking about the garbage comment that the comedian made at the Trump rally. Well, they couldn't stay away from it. It blew up. Even the mainstream media had to cover it. And now Democrats are, especially in tight-run races, they are distancing themselves right now from Joe Biden. It's absolutely a mess for the Democrats right here at the final week before Election Day. Y'all check this clip out.
Thank you, Karine. First on the comments last night, was the president aware in the moment, as soon as he had made those comments, that they could potentially be misconstrued and be problematic, or was it only after conversations with aides?
I'm not going to get into a process. I think what's important is the president put out a statement and wanted to make sure that he clarified himself, clarified what he meant here. And this is something that he wanted to do. And that's what you saw from this president last night. And I think that's important to note. I would also say, and I said this already and I'll say it again, from day one, this president has always said that he will be president for all Americans. It doesn't matter if you voted for him or not. And that continues to be the case. He was making a particular point, a specific point about a comedian and the hateful rhetoric that was heard by all of us on Sunday, but I'm not going to get into the back and forth. I think what's important to note is that the president himself wanted to clarify this.
There have been a few times when the president has spoken off the cuff and appeared to be off message or had comments that have needed to be walked back or cleaned up. And I'm wondering, going into this final very high stakes stretch of the election, if there's going to be any changes to preparation or format for any of the final events that he's going to be participating in.
The president looks forward to being out there talking to the American people. You heard me talk about yesterday and how important that was, $3 billion in port infrastructure funding that's going to make a difference in 27 states. 11 of them are red states. This is what the president cares about, to deliver for all Americans. And so that was an event, that was a great event. We talked about the $147 million he talked about this, that's going to go to the port. And not just like dealing with infrastructure, but also creating good-paying jobs, thousands of good-paying jobs. And so the president's going to continue to do that. I don't have any changes to speak to from here. And, you saw the president in Pittsburgh just this past weekend as well. And this is more of a campaign. That was a campaign stop, so I'm going to be really mindful, but you saw him talking to laborers and union members, and they were thrilled to see him and very thankful for the work that he's done on behalf of union workers over the past 3+ years. And so that's what you're going to continue to see from the president. It doesn't matter if it's because of the election is a couple of days away. This is what he's going to go do on the next 3 months. And I think the president enjoys being out there, and nothing is going to stop him from doing that.
Okay. And guys, if you watch the clip, it doesn't look at all like Joe Biden realized that what he said was an issue. If you go back, watch the clip, go look it up, right, of Joe Biden calling Trump supporters garbage. He says it and just moves on like it's not a big issue. He doesn't try to clean it up. He didn't realize it was a problem. That's what's insane to me. Anybody else that make a comment that's like that divisive and they're gonna try to walk it back. He didn't try to walk it back. And that's why I think this is a great question of, did Biden literally have to be told, hey, you can't say that? right? Like, you're the president of the United States. You can't call half of the United States garbage. That's a problem. And it's insane to me too, because, right, the Democrats have a moment here that they try to capitalize on this statement that is made by this comedian at a Trump rally. They have this moment where they could try to shift the polls a little bit, where they could try to sway the direction of the election. And they try to capitalize this, and immediately Joe Biden jumps in and wrecks it for them, right? Because you got Donald Trump, and a comedian makes the comment, all right? He's a comedian. If anybody's going to make this comment, which again, it's inappropriate, but if anyone's going to make this comment at a Trump rally, this is the least credible voice, right? And then you go over to the other side, and Kamala Harris's boss, the president of the United States of America, the leader of the Democratic Party, calls all Trump supporters garbage. Tell me that's not a problem. Dude, it's wrecking their campaign right now. Now, in this last clip, I want to show you Donald Trump again, because he's responding to an endorsement from the legendary astronaut Buzz Aldrin himself. You got to check this out.
Great common sense. And they just gave me the name because I've had great respect, but I didn't know exactly why they had him on. Buzz Aldrin, very respected, the great astronaut, and highly respected. But I thought it was an unusual because we have a lot of people that endorse us, and and you notice the Washington Post, the Los Angeles Times, and all these papers, they're not endorsing anybody. You know what they're really saying? Because they only endorse Democrats. They're saying, this Democrat's no good. They're no good. And they think I'm doing a great job. They just don't want to say it. Washington and USA Today, congratulations. I just heard USA Today has not endorsed. They said, we're not going to endorse. That means that they think she's no good. But Buzz Aldrin's very interesting because great astronaut, but he's not the youngest person in this room, but he's a very sound man and great, looks fantastic. What he did is he said, I've never endorsed anybody in my life before, like General Kellogg. I've never endorsed. Of course, he started endorsing me approximately about a minute after I announced I was running, but that's because he's a smart general, right? 1 minute. Was it 1 minute or was it 30 seconds? But Buzz Aldrin, for the first time in his life, he said, this is the first time I've ever made an endorsement, never made an endorsement. I'm endorsing Donald J. Trump. Isn't that nice? So thank you, Buzz Aldrin. And I like him, too. I've always admired him. Kamala and Joe call them all of those people that I just named and all of the people here. And I think probably more than 200 million people in this country. You know, we really don't know how many we have because those borders have been opened so badly. You don't know. You know, other countries can tell you approximately what they have. I don't think this country does. But let's say you had 350 million people. If she won, you'd have 600 million people in about 3 years. You'd have open borders, the whole world, every criminal from all over the world. Well, we're going to have that pretty soon anyway, but we're going to deport them out of here fast. But let's say 225 million people. She's essentially, and he's calling them garbage. They're a team, by the way. Oh, she hated that last night when she heard that. Although, honestly, I don't think she's smart enough to know what it really means. What that meant, that makes deplorable look like baby stuff, right?
Man, all right, guys, we're going to cut it off there, but hopefully you enjoyed this episode today. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, comment down below. Guys, 5 days until the election. We're going to decide the future of this country next Tuesday. It's going to happen. It's absolutely just, man, the stakes couldn't be higher. And isn't that interesting? Buzz Aldrin's never made a endorsement before president, but he stepped out. And you know, there's a lot of people doing that right now. A lot of people that never make endorsements are making endorsements, and a lot of people that do make endorsements are not making endorsements, because those that usually make endorsements for the left, they're not making endorsements right now, and those that don't usually make endorsements, they're endorsing the right. So there's definitely a shakeup going on right now in America. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you again tomorrow with another episode. Peace.